guys, it's Miss Simpson, and we're going to talk about data representations again today. So we're going to be talking about the three. So we did all three yesterday, and you answered questions on all three. And today you're going to do the same thing. So let's review the three different types of data representations. The first one is a frequency table. Now, a frequency table tells us how often data occurs. There are three ways that you can see a frequency table. The first way, like I told you yesterday, is one with digits. So that means numbers. So let me zoom in so you can see it. One with digits. We have another one that might have tally marks on it. So you could count up the tally marks and put the frequency. So tally marks are marked like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the fifth one goes across in a slash. So you can actually count it by fives to count up those tally marks. And the last one is a range of numbers. So between 0 and 3 books. So 6 students read between 0 and 3 books. 15 students read between 4 and 5 books. So those just tell you how often data occurs. On this one would be the dot plots. Dot plots are, they use dots or symbols to represent a different data set. So you have something that looks like a number line, and the number line is labeled for number of books read. If every dot represents one student. So this one would be like one book. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 students read one book. 2 students read 2 books. 1 student read 3 books, and so on and so forth. On a dot plot, you have to be very, very careful because the key can trick you. So you have different keys here, and you need to see, like this one, the circle represents 4 students, or the coffee cup represents 2 students. So you might see symbols, pictures, dots, whatever it is, just make sure you pay attention to that key. And finally, we have stem and leaf plots, and this is the one that's going to trick you most often. Yesterday, we had one with fractions. So one was the whole numbers and the fractions were separated. So the whole numbers were over here and the fraction was over here. Sometimes they do the tens place value over here and they do the ones place value over here. Yesterday, you guys had money, so like $100, $115. So they split it up like this. So the tens place on this side and the ones place on this side. So we are now going to answer questions about frequency tables, dot plots, stem and leaf plots, all of those things. You're also going to do a fast focus today that looks very, very, very similar to this. So we're going to answer a couple of these questions. I'm going to do one that is a dot plot, and I'm going to do one that is a stem and leaf plot to practice with you. So let's go ahead and let's read number 1. The dot plot shows the amount of fruit punch that 20 children drank at a party last Saturday. Each dot represents one child. Okay, so we don't have to worry about the key very much. We just know that every single dot is one child. So every single time you see a dot plot, here's what I recommend you doing. Count up the dots and write it at the top so that you don't have to worry about counting it up later. We're going to go ahead and label our dot plot. So 1, 1, 3, 2, 4, 4, 5, 6, and 3. All right, so how many children drank less than 1 pint of fruit punch? So here's 1 pint. They want to know less than 1 pint. So these 3 are less than 1 pint. So we need to add up all of the dots that are less than 1 pint. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would be 5 children that drank less than 1 pint. All right, so let's go ahead and let's try one more stem and leaf plot. So we're going to do this first one. The Rosario family ate 13 meals at restaurants last year. The plot below shows how much money the family paid for each meal. So remember, this would be like 17. This would be 24, 24, 26, 28, 29. Okay, guys, so this one would be 30, 35, 37, and 39. So when I do this, I always like to write out the numbers next to my stem and leaf plot because that helps me later on because I already did it, so I don't have to redo it. So I always do that. Same thing when I go ahead and label my dot plot. So let's go ahead and do this one. 40, remember, the 4 is the tens place, the 6 is the ones place. So 46, 48, and 49. Okay, so now let's read the question. The family paid more than $25 for how many meals last week? So more than $25. So this is more than 25. This is more than 25. I'm going to go through and I'm going to highlight all the ones that are more than 25. And then I'm going to count up how many meals that is. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So they paid more than $25 for 10 of their meals last year. See how when I write out the numbers of the stem and leaf plot next to it, it is so much easier to use it to ask the questions. It is like 10 times easier because then you don't have to go through and try to decipher it later on. So let's do one more question. What was the total cost of the 3 least expensive meals the family bought? So let's take a look. The 3 least expensive meals was there $17, $24, and $24. So we are going to add up 24, 24, and 17. So I want you to pause the video right now, add those 3 numbers, and then check back and see if you got the right answer. Okay, so when I add 7 plus 4, I get 11. Plus 4 is 15. Put my 5 down, carry my 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I got all 3 of those together is $65. So again, when you see a stem and leaf plot, make sure to write out your numbers. And when you see a dot plot, label each of the dots. Now, I did have a problem yesterday. I had a few people ask me questions on dot plots, or not on dot plots, sorry guys, on stem and leaf plots. So notice right here that the 1 doesn't have anything written, and the 2 doesn't have anything written, and the 3 doesn't have anything written. That all that means is you can cross off those 3 numbers. There's nothing there, so that means there are no numbers that you need to worry about. All you have to worry about is like 21 and 25, 30. So if there's a 0 there, then you have a 30. But if there's nothing there, like on these 3 numbers, you can cross it off because that means you're not going to use that number. It doesn't mean that there's 10 or that there's 1. There's just nothing there. All right, so for your assignment today, you're going to complete the fast focus right down below. There are, I think, 4 questions on it. So when you're done, turn it in. And if you have any questions, I'll be on Zoom help time. I love you guys. Have a great day. Bye.